Hello and welcome to Douglasville Impact Community Podcast. I am Jason Post with the City of Douglasville. Thank you for joining us today. We got a great show ahead of you. Let's go ahead and introduce the smaller crew we have at the table this week. To my immediate left is Tiffany Wallace.
Good morning, everyone.
And joining us as our special guest today is Sergeant
Shannon Dean.
Shannon Dean. It's the title that keeps throwing me because it's changed. Right? Mm-hmm. So you got a new title here recently, and I can never keep up with everybody's ranks. So
thank you. Good
from
morning.
the Douglasville Police Department, Sergeant Shannon Dean. So thank you guys for joining us today.
Indeed,
We are
thank you.
down at least one of our regular crew today because Aaron, who's normally here to do our news, is downtown today, hopefully accepting our award for our HR department for the healthiest employer for the third straight year. So
yes,
fingers crossed. Right? So
I'll actually be going there from here.
yes, and
Okay,
Shannon is,
yeah.
is as soon as we wrap up,
Yep.
he's going to head
Absolutely.
downtown
Good deal.
with the blue lights on if necessary.
No.
She'll get there on time. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so we're going to just jump right into it. With Aaron not here, I guess I'm doing the news. So
You're up.
we have a few things we can talk about that we've been doing lately. First off, so the mayor and some of the council people were able to go on a trip over the weekend that was put on by the Douglas County Chamber of Commerce and the Economic Development Authority, where it was the Douglas County Chamber Strategic Leadership Visit, and they went to York County, South Carolina, and visited a really cool city and looked at some of the cool projects they're doing up in that area there.
Good deal.
So the Economic Development and the Chamber really focused on some of the projects they had done in those cities, and basically looking to see what kind of stuff that we could bring back here. You know, we've talked a lot about all the projects that we have going on in the city and all the plans and all the stuff that we're about to kick off. So that was a good trip for them to go and just bring back some information that hopefully we can plug in. There's a lot of really big developments and stuff like that are going on. So
Good deal. Any big takeaways from that visit?
I think and generally they just were really impressed with all the really cool things that they had going on.
Okay.
And looking at some of the tools that they use, a lot of it is some of the similar things that we've got going on here with the redevelopment powers and the tax allocation districts and things like that. So I think they came back with a lot of good information that hopefully they can plug into
Good deal.
what we're about to kick off here in the city, which is big and exciting for us. So
Very fine. Indeed it is.
yeah, that was really cool. The next thing we got coming up, which is a big thing that we're about to start hearing a lot more about, is the 2020 census. So we've got coming up the 2020 Complete Count Kickoff. So Aaron is on that committee with the census, and they're about to launch a huge campaign for that 2020 census. And we probably haven't heard about it since 2010 when they did the last one, but the census is a huge, important thing for us as a community because this is when we get all of our counts. Their goal is to get a 100% count for everyone in Douglas County. This is where we get all of our numbers, our population, our demographics, and things like that, things that we use to go out and seek funding for different things, things that we use to promote, development and things like that in our community. We have to have those numbers, and this is the time. Every 10 years they do this, so this is the time where we get all those numbers, those important numbers. So they're about to launch a big campaign. This is kind of a partnership with the city and the county, the city of Villa Rica, to get out there and make sure that everyone in the county is accounted for and counted, and so that everyone's voice matters, basically.
Representation matters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So we need to make sure that we have a clear idea of what our county looks like so we can then provide the services and stuff that we need.
Indeed.
So that's a good thing, and that's a big thing that we're about to see a
definitely
lot more
important.
of. That's just about to kick off. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of that. We're going to be talking about it. You'll start seeing it in the news and stuff. So that'll be coming very, very soon. So
'Tis the time of year.
and we did just mention that we're today, as we record today, the Healthiest Employer Ceremony is about to be kicked off. Atlanta Business Chronicles hosts that every year, and this is the third year that we've been nominated for Healthiest Employer in the mid-size category, I believe is whatever our category is. So they're hopefully going to be finding out that we won for a third year. So we'll talk about that a little bit more on the next episode. We'll have Aaron back giving us some more information there. And the final big thing that we've had happen is last week we had Georgia Cities Week. So we had events going on all week, but the big one that we were involved in was the second graders visit on Friday.
Yes.
We had about 300 second graders here, City Hall and Douglasville Conference Center, and they were able to tour City Hall, meet some of the different departments, and do some demonstrations. The police were out.
Actually,
right?
the police, yeah, we did. We brought out like the Bearcat in the command center, and we had some true authorities within our SWAT team and our command staff discussing things with the kids, and I think even the canines, and we also had motorcycle division there.
Great.
And we had the green screen adventure set up.
Yes.
The kids,
I know
were
they
able
were
to come in and
thrilled
put them on
about
the
that.
green screen, and we had dinosaurs chasing them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
different
very
kinds
cool.
of stuff
I'd like to do that adventure. Why am I not invited to do something like that?
Next time we get it set up, you're welcome to come out.
There you go.
We'll do all kinds of fun stuff with you. So the kids had a great time, though.
Right. They kept you guys on your toes for sure.
Yeah, so that kind of was the wrap up of Georgia City's week and,
That's cool.
and stuff. So it was a good week. It was a fun week. A lot of stuff going on. And then next week we've got National Travel and Tourism Week
That is
coming
true.
up. So
Yes,
it'll be
the whole
another
week.
full week of fun
Activities.
stuff and things going on.
Yeah.
So that's all the big news, I guess, that we've covered. The only other news item that I wanted to probably bring up was
yes.
that
Uh-huh.
this month we released the first edition of our Douglasville Impact official City of Douglasville newsletter.
Yay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this is
Indeed. Be
the
informed.
official newsletter of the City of Douglasville. This is a quarterly newsletter. It'll come out every few months. This is the summer edition.
Right.
So we put a lot of focus on summer activities. There's a lot of information in here about parks programs and park summer camps and our Wednesday Wind Down summer concert series that is happening
Right.
here on the plaza.
June 5th. Starts
That's a
June
big
5th.
June 5th. That's a big focus here. So we're going to put that out every few months. We've partnered with Chapel Hill News and Views.
Yes.
So if you get the Chapel Hill News and Views, or if you know where you can pick one up, this newsletter is inserted in every copy of the May edition. We also have a large stack here at City Hall and at all of our offices around to try to get them out as well. But a lot of good information in here. We've got a lot of information about upcoming events and things that are happening in the city. Hydrangea Festival. There's a lot of things that go on during the summer. There's a summer full of activities, and we've tried to cover as much as we possibly could in the newsletter. But it
we
came
did a
out
good
really
job.
nice.
It
Yeah,
did.
Yeah, it turned out really good. So you find one of those, pick one of those up, find you a Chapel Hill News and Views, and check it out. A lot of good information in there.
Indeed.
So this is our quarterly newsletter. We put that every few months, and then we're here with the Douglasville Impact Community Podcast every other week, giving the information as well. So we're trying our best to make sure everybody knows everything that's going on.
Staying informed, being informed.
Stay
Indeed.
informed, get involved.
Indeed.
So that's pretty much that's the big news for me. I was excited about the newsletter, but other than that, I think that
Yes,
covers all of
absolutely.
our news. So
That's a big chunk.
that's plenty for me. Yeah.
Right.
So we're gonna move right on into Tiffany's events. What do we got coming up?
So we have a few upcoming events, and pardon me, my allergies are getting the best of me, so I will just go through this, but pardon my little nasally sound. So May 4th, we have the Douglas County Special Olympics Car Show that is going to be at Arbor Place Mall from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And just some additional information. According to the flyer, it's open to all cars, trucks, and bikes. Special Olympics athletes will judge and award the top 3 trophies in each class. T-shirt size is guaranteed as part of the $20 pre-registered vehicles, but you'd already have to be registered by March 30th. And if you are interested in finding out more, you can go to their Facebook page, and that is the Douglas County Special Olympics Annual Car Show at DCSO Car Show, and that's on Facebook. DCSO Car Show, and that's their Facebook page, and that is May 4th, 2019, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
That'll be like this Saturday. So that's this Saturday, right?
That's this Saturday.
That's
This Saturday coming up.
Saturday.
Yep.
The car shows are always fun.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
I mean, it's really
Yeah.
neat just to go walk around. Those
I
are
know.
fun that even if you don't know about them and you pass by, you're like, oh, cool, a car show.
I mean, who doesn't like a great looking car? I mean,
Just
come on.
walking around, all the old ones and stuff, really cool. And when
Indeed.
it's for the Special Olympics,
Yes.
then,
So it's
you
for
know,
a good
that's
cause.
a no-brainer, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's pretty cool. So
All right, and so next Friday, which is leads us into Mother's Day weekend, we have our Community Rocks free concert, and it features the members-only band, and it will be held at O'Neill Plaza from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., and that is next Friday, May 10th. So bring all your family, bring your moms, because it's Mother's Day weekend. So you can kick that off on O'Neill Plaza with our first concert of the spring. And again, that's 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's next Friday.
That one's super exciting.
Yes, very much so.
Everybody comes. That's an 80s cover band, Shannon?
Oh, it is?
Yeah, you ready
Well,
to go back
members
to the
only.
80s?
Yes.
Yeah.
You need
Okay,
it.
gotcha.
Talk to the chief. He's going to come out rocking his members only jacket.
Right? You have to bring back the old school, the retro.
Cavariccis.
Yes, absolutely.
Z Cavariccis. I remember those.
That's
What
right.
if we bring those back just by...
Yeah, at least
Well,
for, yeah.
everything is cyclical, so
They gotta be coming back
fashion,
around, right?
It's coming.
I started seeing some other stuff, jellies and acid wash recently. So
Yes,
It's all
acid
coming
wash is
back.
a big thing. And we're like, oh my gosh, hey.
So our concert's just in time for the 80s to make its second come
Absolutely.
there you go.
Yeah.
We're on trend.
So, that'd be fun. So bring out your chairs and go and enjoy the restaurants and sit
Absolutely.
back
And
rock
hang
the
out with us
cats.
for a while.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good deal, good deal. All right, so May 13th is the GDOT Town Hall meeting about the Highway 92, the progress update for that. And that will be at Jesse Davis Park, and that's from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And you can find more information about that on GDOT's website, and you can also link to it from our website as well because it's posted. So. Again, that's May 13th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. at Jesse Davis Park, GDOT Town Hall meeting. And then we also have the senior picnic. That's a joint picnic with the county as well as the city, and that's May 16th, and that will be held at the Douglasville Conference Center from 9:30 to 1:30 p.m. You know, for all of our seniors to just to get together and hang out and just learn about what's going on in the city and have a great lunch as well.
It's
in the
fun
cool,
day, yeah.
yes, fun day. And the cool. So
Yeah, we don't have it on the heat this year, so they're
Yeah.
at the conference center for the first time for the
Right.
picnic actually. So it'll be a nice event. But they get to come and they have awards and stuff. They usually
Indeed.
give out awards for like the oldest citizen and things like that. So it's always a fun day, and everybody turns out, and it is packed out.
indeed, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't realize it was that
It's
big.
No, yeah, it's a huge. So originally they had it over at the Hawthorne Center at Jesse Davis,
Mm-hmm.
and
They
in
outgrew
the
that.
gym, and it was full, absolutely full.
So literally, they grew out of the Hawthorne Center.
Right.
Well, the last couple of years, they had shifted over to the senior center for the county senior center because of the construction. It was hard to get to the Hawthorne Center during 1 year. So, but they've totally outgrown either of those, really. So they'll be at the conference center this year for the first time, and that should be a much better location for them because, yeah, it was, like I said, the basketball courts at the Hawthorne Center was full, and we were almost out of room there. So if you've outgrown the basketball in the gym, I mean,
Right.
there's
True.
nowhere else to go.
It's a good thing. So they'll
So-
be at the conference center and just enjoying and hanging out and meeting and greeting and just being, with their peers, which is great. So that's the senior picnic, May 16th at the conference center, 9:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. And then we have the ultimate block party. It was rescheduled
Yay.
for May 17th. Yay! So it will be at the old police department parking lot, and that's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So, yes, so the block party, which was previously scheduled for last week, has been rescheduled for May 17th. And essentially we get a do-over, which is great.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
because we're worried that they had some bad weather forecasted,
Right.
so they didn't want to not have the event.
Indeed.
So I'm glad they were able to get it
Right.
rescheduled to that's coming up because that's always fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
They got music and fun stuff for the
Indeed.
kids and vendors out.
And it's a block
food
party, so
trucks.
know.
It's a block party. We've talked about
Indeed.
it before. It's a block party.
Right.
I mean,
So it's
it
fun
is
things.
exactly what it sounds like.
Right. So fun time. So in 2 weeks, two Fridays, it'll be back up and running.
And then that leads us right into that's a big weekend, right?
Yes, and
So-
then after the block party on Friday, May 17th, we have the Taste of Douglasville, which
Right.
is on Saturday, May 18th, and that is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that's throughout the downtown. So
That's huge.
yes,
Yeah.
so you can taste your way all around Douglasville and just, in our downtown, which is good. Good thing. Yes.
The
so
food makes me happy.
yeah. So come hungry.
And that one's huge. You've been to that one before, right?
I
Shannon?
have. I
Yeah.
actually love coming
They're
to the Taste of
everywhere down
Douglasville.
here, the whole
And it's
downtown.
amazing that you don't just have food there, that you have so
No.
many other people who
Mhm.
show up with so much other stuff going
Right.
on.
Right.
It's
right.
a full day of activities.
Really is.
And this is another one that's Cultural Arts Council?
Yes, CAC.
So, I mean, it's there to benefit the CAC and the arts in the community. So,
Right.
yeah, they have demonstrations and things throughout the day.
Indeed.
So, there's a lot going on just entertainment-wise and
Right.
fun. You don't have to
Yeah.
eat all day.
But if
can.
if you so decide,
But you
we've
can.
got you covered.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yes, because it is 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So, you can
Yeah.
always go for round 2 or 3, whatever.
Lunch,
Kind of
whatever's
lunch
your
and
pleasure.
dinner.
Yes,
Yeah, we'll get to breakfast eventually. Right?
indeed.
Nice. Very
yeah.
nice.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so that takes us, for the next
That's a
couple of
lot of
weeks. I
stuff.
think that's enough for everyone to digest for just this time.
We've gotten to the point where it's nonstop. Every weekend,
there's always
there's
something.
stuff going on,
Yes.
right? So we've got things happening this weekend, and then next weekend's a big weekend,
Right.
and the following weekend is Taste, and then after that we end up getting into our Wednesday wind down stuff.
Right, which starts June 5th.
Once we hit the summer,
Shameless plug.
once we hit the summer, it's nonstop.
Yes.
It really
Yeah,
is nonstop.
It
in the
really
summer.
is. There's something all the time,
Yeah.
and because we do a lot of the city events, so we know what the calendar looks like when we're
Yeah.
trying to find dates to have stuff. They're not.
They're
there.
full. We're full.
And then Shannon, of course. So that leads us right into what Shannon is here to talk about. So your new position with the police department is
Community outreach and health and wellness, but most of it's I'm really right now focusing within the community outreach to get out there
Right.
with the community.
so
Right.
you are focusing a lot on the events that the police put on, right?
Yes.
That the police department put on. So we're working with you guys a lot. So Shannon knows as well. You got to find those open dates on the calendar, and
That's
they're
true.
getting fewer and fewer.
Yes,
'Cause
they
there's stuff
are, and
happening
we
all the time.
as a city police department, we try to partner as much as we can with our county. So
Mm-hmm.
the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, Douglasville Police Department, we do a lot of things together, and that's
Which is
also
great.
hard too because they might have something going the same day as we do, and we're like asking them to coordinate and
Yeah.
get together. And a lot of people, because we do them together, they see that sound truck and they see the
Right.
grill and the Polar Patrol, and all that's actually county, and that's them partnering with us.
Right.
So
Right.
we
That's
get
good.
to set up a lot of things through them that we probably as a police department, would have to be able to work into other areas. So
Yeah.
we get out there in the community, and we get out there in the community areas of the community. Like we'll have a cookout with one community, another community will have like a health fair. We have a lot of things coming up, and we will put like a jamboree together and a fall festival together and all. We want everybody to show up, but we have them in certain areas.
Right.
So most of our stuff that's coming up, we do hit for the summer. We also do a lot of things with schools, a lot of things with senior citizens, like
Right.
the senior picnic. I'll be
Right.
there.
Right.
Okay, great.
But we also do stuff with like back to school events,
Yeah.
Right.
and we get
That's big.
involved. And we have our own back to school event in August. August 6th, we have something called National Night Out, and we're working with Parks and Rec, and we're going to have it at Brookview Apartments over there off Hospital Drive. So we would what we're looking for in that down the road is if we can get other communities involved, we can have our National Night Out can get big. It can be in different areas of that. What we want to do is branch out into the community because the chief believes that we are one with our community. So
Building those
part of
relationships
that is building your relationship within the community. So he wants us to branch out into several different areas.
Yeah.
So that's why we do so many things.
Absolutely. And so you mentioned the one with the community, which is a huge thing for the chief.
Yes.
That's been his focus for a number of years now. So you guys have a huge focus on that. So tell me, how does what you guys are doing compare with other departments that you've seen? Because I know the chief has this huge focus on going out in the community and having these community engagement events and having all these events and stuff like
Yes.
that, which is awesome. And I don't know, is that a standard thing or
I would state that several agencies are trying to get more involved with their communities. They're trying to put more into their communities and let them know that they're there for them. But the chief and the sheriff together, along with just the chief and his staff, but together, they're trying to show that this is a different kind of community. We bring in as a county and a city. And a lot of times your counties and your cities don't work as well together. And so
Absolutely.
they may do things separately,
Right.
but that's why we try so hard to put them together, is because that's how we believe and that's how we work. Even our Citizens Law Enforcement Academy, the alumni of those, we have two different Citizens Law Enforcement Academy. The alumni get together and they do it together for the county and the city.
That's great.
So everything that we try to do tries to put it out there. So we have different places. If a county agency calls us, if daycare, a school wants us involved, we don't say no because they're in the county.
Right.
We still work with our county. So
Absolutely.
that big thing with that is a lot of agencies, I don't know how they work on that, but I'm not sure if they go, this is city, that's county, this is city. We're not going to do it.
Yeah.
We will. If you've got
Inclusive.
something going on,
Indeed.
we're going to show our support for our whole community, not just a portion of it.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some above and beyond that you guys are doing and what the chief is doing than I've seen anywhere else that we've kind
That's
of
true.
been to and talked with. And all the departments have their focus and they have the things that they're doing.
Right.
But just to the level that you guys do it, and to the fact that you are dedicated in what you do now to doing that community outreach.
And that's where I think
engagement.
part of that
Yeah.
is because a lot of agencies, they're trying to get more involved in the community, but the chief saw a need that we need to have a dedicated area that we are going to be working directly with the community and let them know we're there for them. So they have somebody to contact. Hey, we had this going on. Can you get somebody involved? Hey, we had that going on. Can you get somebody involved? Hey, this is what's going to go on next. And we can go, let's work with this agency. So, he brings it to me. Others bring it to me. I bring it to them. But we all just work just trying to make that. Now, part of that is bringing the police officers in and the police officers being really part of the community. So even though I help put it together, I am not the community. The police officers get out there and we are all taught and trained that we are going to talk to somebody and treat people like you're my sister, you're my mother, you're my brother, how somebody else wants to be treated, unless we have a reason not to when we get there. But part of that is in the community, that's how people need to see us. So they need to see us out there in a better light. They need to see us out there because what they see on TV isn't real. People see things and they assume. So the whole thing is getting out there in that community, doing pill take-backs, going out to the schools, going out to the senior citizen stuff, going out into the community. Actually, we have something called DCOP, where we go out into the community and actually find a subdivision or an apartment complex. And we go around and literally go door to door and talk to people. And we let that community know we're coming and we talk to them about it. Can we come out here? We have our community enrichment. We have meetings second and fourth Thursday of the month. And we go out sometimes on those fourth Thursdays and we go out into the community. Our whole focus is to get people involved with us because we want them to be able to come to the police. We don't want someone to feel like they can't come to us. So it's all about being involved. So between doing those and doing the coffee with a cop, we'll do that at Starbucks, in October, stuff like that. And people laugh because I actually talked to Dunkin' Donuts about donut with a cop. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
y'all want to try and work with me? So
Indeed.
I try and talk
Absolutely.
to different places about that
Yeah.
because we see it. We see these kind of things around the country. That National Night Out, the donut with a cop, the coffee cop. You see these things
Right.
around the country. So get everybody involved, not just one community.
Absolutely.
Indeed. And you mentioned the pill take back. I know that was last weekend. How was the response?
Oh, the response was great. We had, it was my second one doing it. Now, I got involved with it last year.
Okay.
But it was my second time doing it, and we got Wellstar contacted me.
Right.
And we had Wellstar and Douglas County Safe Kids and Douglas County Water Sewer Authority all involved in a pill take back with the DEA. And what we did was we put it out there, and we took 144.4 pounds of medications
Wow.
for destruction. Now, we did not
That's
weigh
impressive.
out the needles we took because Wellstar, they take what's called sharps, which means your EpiPens,
Right.
your
Insulin needles and things
insulin
like
needles,
that.
all these different things, and people never know how to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Right. Indeed.
Well, that's one reason why they partnered with us to take those in. Safe Kids partnered with us to talk about children and not letting them have access to the
Indeed. Which is key.
medicine
with
cabinets.
your prescriptions.
Water
yeah.
Sewer Authority, not flushing medications.
Right.
So
Ugh.
we try and put as much as we can out there by involving more people, like we said, getting everybody involved in the community. Real simple. A lot of
Yeah.
departments just do the police department with the DEA.
But with the widening your scope with Wellstar as well as the Water Authority, just really bringing it home so people understand it's just not siloed just this one thing. If you
Correct.
flush your pills down the toilet, this is what could happen. It could end up in our in our sewage system, et cetera, and that could contaminate the water, and et cetera. And especially with Wellstar being the sponsor for taking back the sharps, which
Yes.
is definitely key, because there are a lot of diabetics and people that require injectable drugs that prescription. Let me say, prescription
and
drugs
people
that-
don't know what
to do, how to dispose of them
Right.
properly. Yeah, that's definitely awesome.
So it's been that's where we like it. We like being able to partner, being able to work with,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a great thing. We had at least we did a count. We had 84 people show up, and
Great.
we only did it from 10 to 2, like in 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We had 84 people come with, and some of them were bringing literally from an entire thing. They're like, we all got together and we put it all in here.
We've been
bringing
saving
it
these.
for
We don't know what to
Oh,
do
wow.
with them,
Yeah.
so here we
things.
go.
Yep.
So it's a
Good.
bigger reach than really the ones that just
It
showed
really
up.
was a
Absolutely.
bigger reach.
Yeah. So-
And that was a good thing too, because the police department, what we try to do is, if you want to know what we have going on, we have our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And we try and tell everybody always what's going on Facebook. Because if we have it coming up, we want to tell you about it. We want you to know about it. And then we want to show you pictures of it, how fun we had, because we like getting out there with everybody and showing it.
There's always great pictures on the PD's Facebook page.
That's
It's
true.
great. I mean,
That's
whether
great.
it's the dogs or the events or just officers
Yes.
getting out playing basketball with kids in the neighborhood, which I always love seeing those.
Yeah.
Those are great.
We have a couple of events coming up right now that I asked some of the officers. I'm like, who plays basketball? Come on,
Yeah.
because the thing is a lot of the police officers, they want to be involved with our community. We
Yeah.
have a lot of new faces out there, and a lot of new officers, and they want to get out there and they want people
Right,
to
as
see
they
them.
should.
And they have a lot of
Absolutely.
younger ones, so they get out there with the kids and they see them, out there with them. And a lot of these new ones want to get out there, and a lot of the
Yeah.
older ones are like, hey, so everybody wants to get out there and be part of the community. So it's been really, really wonderful being a part of an outreach program where you have everybody else volunteering to want to work in that outreach program,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because they have to commit on their off days. They have to commit on their off time.
Yeah. This is extra. Above
Yeah,
and
this is extra.
beyond.
It's not usually while they're on duty
Right.
that
Right.
they're doing these
Right.
things. They're coming in to do them on the time that they actually have set aside for themselves.
And so what I'm hearing, so compared to a lot of other places, they may have programs that are community outreach, or they may have an event that's an outreach event where they try to connect with their community. But this isn't a program. It's not like this is the police department and this is one program that you guys are doing, or this is an activity that you guys are doing. This is how you guys operate. This is
Yes.
built
Yes.
into the
To the
core
infrastructure.
structure of
Yes.
the Douglasville Police Department, the one
Right.
with the community. This is how we operate. We're going out. Everything that you guys do is built around that one with the community that the chief likes to put out there. So in every program and operation that you guys have going, that's the thought process. So
Yes.
it's not just a community event. It's, I know the chief has mentioned when you guys are out in the community, get out of your cars. We want you out of the cars interacting with
Yes.
people. It's
Yeah.
just that's the mindset that's kind of been is plugged in, and from training to the streets to everything that you guys do, right? So
Right.
it's an all-encompassing kind of
This
Yeah.
is essentially
Motto,
part of your
yeah.
core values.
Right,
This is,
and that's one
this
reason
is
why.
built in, yes.
And that's one reason why when I say I'm community outreach and health and wellness, it's because we're trying to get out there with everybody. We're trying to make sure. Remember the healthy cities thing?
yes.
Keeping us all physically fit. Officers can get out there and do these kind of things.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so
key.
it's still all encompassing. You got to be a healthy department to be able to get out in the
That's very
community and
true.
do what you need to do for the community, and be able to get out there and actually do more.
Yeah. And I think it's just great in general because we are seeing, like I said, on the Facebook page or when you're out in the community, when you see the officers hanging out with the kids or just talking to people in the community with smiling faces, that's the picture that's a true picture of what our department is.
Yes.
We see a lot of stuff in the media and things like that tries to paint, law enforcement in a certain light. And we know that we're in it every day. We see it every day, what you guys are out in the community. Those smiling faces, 9 times out of 10, that's what's happening out there, and it creates a much better community in general. Because if they understand that you guys who you are and they recognize your face, it's going to be a totally different interaction.
And that's exactly how the chief sees it. He says that if they recognize you, they see who you are. When you get out there, it's like, now wait a minute.
This isn't the PD walking up on
I know
me. This is Shannon.
They're going to listen to me. They're going
Yeah.
to see what's going on. They're not just going to make an immediate rash decision. They're going to, the way they're reacting with each other, and
Right.
the acting versus reacting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
A positive human interaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think everything that the chief has going on and with everything that you guys are doing, it's great. Do you want to tell us about some of the events that you guys got coming up, maybe, or
we
anything?
have some that are down the road, but I did want to go ahead and say we do have a Hollis Street Health Fair, a partner with Wellstar on that. So we are talking to a couple of our agencies, trying to get things out there for people, blood pressure checks, diabetic checks, anything that we can. We've talked about specifics with some other agencies. I'm not going to throw them out there right now. I'm just trying to see if we're going to bring them in.
Right, I understand.
Because the Hollis Street, it would be at the House of Hope down on Hollis Street, and it's a smaller building, so we want to make sure we have enough for the facility for everybody to be able to come do it. But it's free. You come get your health check, and it's helped people in the past. We'd love to see people get help from that. The National Night Out, which I mentioned for August 6th, Brookview Apartments. We are partnering with Parks and Rec on that one, and the Sheriff's Office on that one. And so we'll have a big area of that apartment complex blocked off, but the entire community is involved in that. They can all come out to that. That's why we're saying we like to have them in different places, because if you have it, sometimes in one place, everybody thinks,
Right.
oh, it's only for them. Not in this capacity, not with a National Night Out. What we'd like to do is have different communities who want to have it there. We do have a town hall meeting coming up in August, too.
Okay.
So it's at the police department. When we have our town hall meetings, we call them PD town hall meetings. The last one we had was all about vacation awareness, neighborhood watch, and actually being out there on vacation. What are you being mindful of? Your luggage, certain things
Indeed.
about them.
Good
The one,
tips,
yeah,
for sure.
exactly. So the one in August, I don't know. That's something to be determined on what we're going to be going over, and then we'll have another one in November, right around Thanksgiving, because of the holidays
Holidays,
coming
yes,
up.
yeah.
Right.
So we do
Holiday
those
safety,
quarterly,
holiday.
technically, like a town
Yes.
hall meeting.
There's always good information.
Indeed.
Because whatever time of year, there's some kind of specific tips that are good to know,
yes.
good to have. Like I said, with that getting out, you
Right.
got holiday tips,
And
traffic
seasonal,
tips,
good
seasonal
ties in
tips.
with
Right.
with the
And
season.
then as soon as school's getting started back up, we'll be doing some back to school
Back to
events
school
and stuff with
stuff, yeah.
them. With other agencies, we just go get involved.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that we do is we do our Hollis Street Jamboree. And that's going to be September 14th, and it's on Hollis Street. But we block off the roadways. We get all the permissions to do everything we need to do, and all it is when we call it a jamboree, it's free to the community. It's all about informational. It's all about getting county and city resources and you knowing where you can go for what. So we have that coming up. And then we pop into our fall festivals, our trunk or treats. You just name it. We got
Fall,
stuff going on.
Yeah. Fall's really
The year's
busy.
just moving right along, right?
I'm telling you.
Indeed.
I don't think I can catch up.
Yeah.
I've been trying.
Haven't we all, right?
Every time you feel like you got a breath take, you end up realizing you're hyperventilating.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Shannon. So if anybody wants to find out about all of those events in more detail when they come up, you can go to douglasvillepd.com. That's the
Right.
police department website specifically. We'll have them on there. The Facebook page, like you said, is a great place to
Yes.
go. We put them out as much as possible as well, so
Yes.
they'll be in our quarterly newsletters. They'll be on the city's website at douglasvillega.gov.
And our own Facebook page.
And our Facebook page as well. So we put it out everywhere that we can possibly get it.
Yes.
If anybody needs to get in touch with you for a possible program or anything like that.
If anybody wants to get in touch with me about tours of the building, anywhere from tours of the building to information that they need or an event they're having and they want to see if the police department wants to be involved, they can call me. I have a direct line. It's 678-293-1621. And they can call just the main police department and just ask for me, Sergeant Dean. They just say Dean or Community Outreach. They'll get me.
They'll find you.
Yes, they will.
Awesome.
Good
Excellent. Wow. Well, I think that's a lot of stuff.
That's our show.
We've covered a lot of events and
busy,
stuff.
we're
And then,
busy.
with Shannon, we went into a whole lot more events and the PD and all the stuff that they do. So that's
Yes.
awesome. Thank you, Shannon,
Thank you
for
for
joining
having me.
us and
Thank
talking
you for
about all
coming.
the awesome stuff you guys are
Absolutely.
doing. That's going to do it for our show this week. Again, if you want to find out any of these things, you can go to our website at douglasvillega.gov. Please, as far as the podcast, like it and share it out, and let more people know about what we're doing here, so more people can find out about all the great events going on in the city and all the things that the PD are doing. If you have any comments or questions or anything that you want to email us, you can email us at Douglasville Impact at douglasvillega.gov. I'm sorry, impact at douglasvillega.gov. We'll put all the URLs.
It'll be in the notes.
Rachel Steve will get it all in the show notes and stuff. So yeah, you can email us at the show at impact@douglasvillega.gov.
Right.
If you have questions, comments about the show or anything like that, and just let us know, and hopefully we can keep going and keep everybody informed about everything that's going on. So thank you guys again for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Great.